Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday Night Show and Share. We come here every week to meet up, to talk about projects we're working on, something that we've completed, something we need help with, something that we've failed at miserably, to warn other people. We have a list, a sign-up list, and the first person on it is Rob, who is showing off gates. Do you need assistance?
Unfortunately, everyone's just going to have to turn them in.
Okay, well, sorry whoever is watching on the internet, you will not get to see anything.
Well, look at my pretty face at least.
Okay, and speak into the mic.
What's up, all? It's been about a year or so since I've been able to come and do a show. I've been working Friday night, so it's been a while, but I've been sneaking in here into the shop and coming in the mornings, afternoons, nights, and some of you I've seen here and gotten a chance to know. Others, hey. So if you all look behind you, I like naming things. These are, it's one of the two gates of Mordor. It's going to be coming into my property. I'm working on the other one inside in the shop right now. As you see, the white panels are actually my templates. So those will be taken out, and I've got 3/4 inch walnut holy curly maple to replace those white panels. And I don't know, if you all want to look at it, I'll leave it back there. But it's all been Morrison tenoned, half joint, half lapped. And in the corners, there's screws for right now until I get to drill them out and replace them with 3/4 inch dowels. So if you look in the corners, you'll actually see the dowels that will be in there to support it. It'll be 4 on each side. And it'll be instead of using screws, I've got a marine grade epoxy, which requires like fillers and stuff. And that stuff gets rock hard and basically never leaks, and it's basically sealing it. And I'm not going to do the inside chamfers with that. That I'm going to use a general soluble finish. So this way the sides will be impregnated with the epoxy, but it can still breathe and off gas through the perimeter. And with the panels that I had created, I used biscuits, which kind of, looks like a little biscuit, and you go in and you connect the corners. So that's probably we're about 40 hours right now, especially with the one that I've got in there. 80% of that wood came from a tree that I took down off my property about 5 years or so ago. It had a fungus, and the arborist said it had to come down. So I was like, man, I want to do something cool with it. And finally, I was like, it's dry. I got to get it out of the garage. So there we go. And if anyone wants to look, I'll leave this back there, just an example of the grooves and the joinery and things like that. Appreciate you. Yes, it's a West epoxy system. It's basically a two-part, and what they use to do boats, kayaks, things like that. Okay. And if you just do the epoxy by itself, it goes on fairly thin inside of the pregnation, so you can almost sand it away with an 80. However, it's strong enough, though, if you hit it with a hose or anything like that, it'll basically just come straight down. It won't soak into the wood. And for the joints, using the same epoxy that they call the fillet. It looks like sawdust. It's not sawdust, but just to give you an example. And it makes it like peanut butter. And then that goes into the larger joints. And as it dries, the sawdust, for lack of a better word, it creates something for it to bond to and allows it a bigger allows it a bigger joint.
Is this going to be outside?
Yes.
Driveway or something? Or?
Yep. I've got 2 steel posts, they're 12-foot high, 1/4 inch rolled steel square, 4 foot down into the ground so it doesn't sag. And then I've got 4x4 walnut towers that I basically built to go over top of those steel columns so you don't see them. And those I call the pillars of creation. But I'm not ready to bring those in now.
I've got a question. We talked earlier today. You said you counted the rings on the tree.
Yes. This sucker was at least around 250. I mean, it was at least that big around. I mean, everything I said, I was able to get it out all No, it was extremely hard because it had a great shadow over the master bedroom, so when we get that 2 o'clock on sun, you know, it blocked it all there. It was just a beautiful tree, especially when the leaves changed on it. And we dropped little acorns, the squirrels would come and have a blast, but, you know, he was like, this is going to come down. And that's one of the reasons actually why this is wormy, because it had the infection, things like that, so it was sick, so it was inviting pests into it. So don't worry, this wood has been treated and all that, so all the critters are now dead and they will not infect the shop. Any others? Cool, thank you all.
I hope you share pictures of that when it's installed.
Oh, absolutely.
Next up, we have Ed, who is showing an ESP 8266.
I have a number of these boards that I've created, and what I'm doing with them, this is a little ESP 8266, the D1 Mini, and it's a real low-powered device. I'm using it to go to sleep, and every few minutes it wakes back up, reads the temperature and humidity, and reports back to a central ESP 8266 that holds that data. And then I've got a Raspberry Pi board that queries this other board and grabs those temperatures and logs those to a database. Let's see. So I'm sorry, I forgot to, I walked out and neglected to get, there's an OLED display that goes right here, which you can see the wiring's hooked up, but I walked out the door without it. This is my power section, so I can hook 6 or 12 volts up to that and not worry about over voltaging the 8266. I've got a red and green yay or nay LED on that. Any questions on that? Okay. I also brought something I 3D printed. This is an 8266 container. I looked on Thingiverse, and all the things that I found didn't fit. So I went and got OpenSCAD and created the top and bottom. And it works pretty darn well. You just, can you see it? Here we go. You just drop it and I didn't even have to shake it. And close her up. I don't know if anyone has used the OpenSCAD, but it is nice. You don't have to learn all the AutoCAD nonsense. You just code it, saying, I got a circle here and a square here, and tie these together. It's nice. Any questions on that? Okay.
I agree with you about OpenSCAD. Last on our list today, we have Ashley with a notebook.
Like all good ideas that I have nowadays, this came from TikTok, quite frankly. This is a Louise Carmen replica notebook. If anyone's familiar with Louise Carmen, it's like $200 notebook, and it is very, very simple. All it is leather, and elastics, hole punched or grommeted, with the elastics to hold in your craft notebooks that you can get very, very cheaply on wherever website you prefer. So I actually made several of these. This is my husband's. This is one of our first iterations. It's a little small, and its corners are a little jagged, but we're not going to show that. But what all this kind of led to is in July, I'm going to, after show and share, I've talked to Russell. Brian and I are going to be doing a little class where people can stay after show and share with us, and we'll have the templates that you just cut out your leather. We'll have the grommets for you to poke all your holes, and the elastics for you to create your notebook cover so that you can take it home and have your $200 Louise Carmen notebook and not have to spend the money. So in July, some point towards the end of the month, I'll be doing this, and everyone here will be welcome to stay after with me and take care of that. Yes, ma'am.
Will it be a Tuesday or a class or what?
It will be a Tuesday, so after show and share, not have to sign up. We should have plenty of supplies, as long as there's not more than, we'll say, 25, 30 people. We'll make it work. We're gonna figure it out together, okay? Yes, sir, in the back.
Did you intentionally use the word "my husband's small" on the internet?
I don't recall saying that. I allegedly said that. This is his notebook, and the Rocket book is too big for the notebook. We'll say it that way. Okay. There we go. It's perfect. It's fine. It's fine. It works just as well as other notebooks covers. I'm gonna leave now. So, in July, it'll be on the calendar.
I'm very excited about that. I will be here, hopefully. That was our last share. We have a couple of announcements. First up is going to be Aliki talking about an event.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you're reading Mattermost, but we announced that we are opening for booth and food truck and all of that sort of application. I believe I put that out on Saturday morning, and I just wanted to let everybody know that our market that we're having, we're going to do it annually. It's going to be at the end of September on Sunday, Sunday, September 28th. I can't say all of those things right in the same order every time, I'm sorry. But it is September 28th, which happens to be a Sunday, from noon to 5, which is our normal market time. We're not doing a night market this time. And again, we're open and we're taking applications, again, for booths, unless you have a food truck as well. We're taking those applications, as well as nonprofit booths. I know we've had that in the past. Since Saturday, it's really been to only our members, so, but that time is coming short. Know that as a member, you have specialty member prices because you make right here at home with us. So it's not $20, because Sue, who is not in the room, would eat me alive if it was. So it's at the nice price of $19.99 to make sure it's distinguishable from other monies that we get. But it is at a discount price. We would love to have all of you as makers. But note that as of tomorrow morning, I'm going to push go, and we're going to let the whole rest of our known past marketeers and those that are on our contact list know as well. So it's about to get pretty lit in the booth space. So if you are considering, please consider soon, because we tend to pack up pretty quick. So with that, if anybody has any questions about the market, you can hit me up. I'm Greekly Aliki in the Mattermost, as well as we have a channel that you can join for more information. And of course, as we get closer to the event, we'll ask you all to volunteer your blood, sweat, and tears for, you know, time and helping and touring and all of that. But thank you, and we're gonna have a great market this year.
If you do want to get the super secret member price, it is a link on Mattermost, and if you can't find it, you can just message me or Aliki or anyone else on the board, or just message anyone at random and see if they'll find it for you. Yes. I have one more announcement. Soon, we are going to be launching a fundraiser to buy a building. Hopefully this building, but a building. We would like to have a home that we are not leasing or renting, that we own ourselves, and we can do anything we want to it and have our own control over it and not have to renew and do all those things every 5 years. But that costs a lot of money, and we have some money. We have a little bit of savings, but real estate is expensive. We are Okay, we already knew that. But we are going to be soon launching a fundraiser. We're not quite there yet. You all will hear about it because we're going to push it out to everyone in the universe. But if you have any experience with grant writing or corporate giving, if your company that you work for does corporate giving, or if you are experienced with like high dollar fundraising, please come see someone on the board. We would love your help, even if it's something easy like doing research on the internet. If it's something that you have experience with, we would love to have you, because it's going to take all of us to do something and help out to make this happen. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be super fun, and we're going to do it. With that, we have some classes coming up. On Friday, we have an intro to metalworking. So if you're interested in getting authorized on the metalworking shop, that is this Friday. There's a couple tickets left for that. On Monday, there's an embroidery machine authorization. So if you would like to do CNC embroidery and learn how to put your own logos on things, like your fancy notebook covers, I don't think you can put that in the embroidery machine, but anyway. And then on next Wednesday, there is a woodworking authorization, which goes pretty quickly. It's very popular. Everyone wants to do woodworking here. So sign up for that. Later on in the month, there are some fiber arts classes. So if you check out our calendar at knoxmakers.org/events, you can find out about those. And tonight, after a brief intermission to let anyone chit chat and take a break for a moment, tonight, Sean will be talking about barbecue. Is it art, science, or just luck? And that will be in a few minutes. He will come up here, and he doesn't have any samples to share. Do you have samples to share? You have a laptop that you're going to share with us. No food samples. Yeah. Allegedly. But maybe he will come to our cookout, which is it next week or in 2 weeks? The next week is our Tuesday night cookout, and maybe he'll bring his barbecue, or you all can have a barbecue fight or something like that. Brian.
You want to make a name patch with the embroidery machine? We'll sew it on.
You could make a name patch with your fancy logo on the embroidery machine, and Brian will help you sew it. Yes?
Who leads that there's sound?
Sorry?
Who leads that I have sound?
I was just really hopeful. I was just really hopeful you would have samples. All right, with that, let's go out in the shop. If you want to stay and listen to talk about barbecue but not get to taste any, you can stay in here, but otherwise have a good night.